right. Hi, everybody. This is probably literally like take 13. It is a struggle out here. But hi, everyone. My name is Beatriz. I am an entrepreneur and business coach. I focus on clarity and strategy. So maybe I should be calling myself clarity and strategy coach, and which I think I will be doing from now on, to be honest. There's nothing wrong in pivoting. And yeah, there's nothing wrong. Maybe I should do a video on pivoting later on. But today, what I really want to talk about is niching down and what this means for in business, why you should consider it, and why you might be having a hard time doing it, to be honest with you, why you might be resisting the idea of niching down. So let's get into it and let's get started. All right, so niching down. You've probably heard in your journey as an entrepreneur or business journey or small business journey, what niching down means. Niching down simply means honing in and focusing in on a subfield or subtopic of your market or experience or expertise. So, for example, if you were in the mental health field and you were perhaps a social worker like me, right? I am in the mental health field. I am a former social worker. Niching down for me, if I was a brand new social worker going into the social work, I would pick a area within social work that I feel good about or I'm passionate about or that I'm excited about. That could be anywhere from working with elderly people or working with people with ADHD, right? Like those are two very different things. I could marry them if maybe I find some sort of work where I get to work with ADHD adults. I don't know. That's very, very niche, right? But that's what niche means or niching down means, is honing in on something particular and specific, and it could be very unique to your strengths and your area of expertise. So another example could be if you are in the education industry, you're a teacher and you wanted to niche down, you could potentially niche down to teaching kids with special needs, right? Like that's a specific area within education that you could look into. Or you could look into teaching kids who are hard of hearing. That is another way to niche down. So think of it as basically honing in on a subtopic or a subfield within your larger field. And the reason why we think about it within business is because it helps us to stand out a little bit from other people who are in our market area. A hairstylist could be, in the hairstyling market, but maybe there's a hairstylist that focuses on color and dyeing hair. And that is like something that they're very good at and an expert at. And that's mostly what they do. So you could niche down from there and focus on hair color for Black women. And that's another, like you're niching down even more, right? So niching down is about honing in and focusing in on a topic or a subfield that is related to the larger field that you're in. Okay, so why could you potentially resist niching down? So one of the reasons why you could potentially resist niching down is because you might feel like you're limiting yourself. Maybe you're thinking there's not enough demand in the market for what I want to specialize in. Or maybe I want to grow in other areas. And if I were to start labeling myself in this area or an expert in this area, then I am limiting other areas where I could potentially grow, right? And what I would suggest in that particular scenario is that you trust your ability to test and to refine how you showcase your expertise and yourself in your journey, right? You are not making a clear-cut iron steel decision when you decide to niche down. You can always go back. And that's something that I would like to remind you of, is that if you having reservations around the niching down because you don't want to be labeled as something, even if you are labeled as an expert in that and you want to change that later, it's okay to change that later. I was feeling reserved around calling myself a business and entrepreneur coach and all of a sudden calling myself a clarity and strategy coach, because I didn't want to seem as if I was now changing how I talk about myself and like I'm jumping from one idea to another and I'm not stable. And I think there was this fear around feeling or fear that people might perceive me as unstable, undecisive, and not really sure about what she's doing. And you couldn't be farther from the truth. A true entrepreneur and a successful business owner is always evolving, is always changing. So test really honing in and coming and focusing and niching down on your expertise. Test it out and be open to whatever comes your way. Be open to this idea that you could potentially be creating clienteles around the fact that your authenticity, you're able to talk about something, your particular expertise in a very calm and confident manner. And that is what brings in the people, is feeling that they can trust you because you feel confident in what you're able to talk about. So niche down. If you're having fears around it, it might be from scarcity mindset, and it might be from the idea that you don't want to corner yourself into a label that you might want to get out of later on in time. And you're not necessarily doing that. You're simply testing, trying to see the way that it feels for you. Does it bring in the right clients for you? And that's one way for me as a new business owner, is to start feeling like I am an expert in something, in a particular skill, so that I can feel confident in it. Even if I feel like I'm a parrot and repeating myself over and over again about the same topic, trust me, there are billions of people on this planet. And if you keep talking about the same thing, you're only being consistent, which only helps your case as a new business and entrepreneur. All right, so why should we consider niching down? And one of the reasons why I believe niching down could be a key to your success is because you are essentially starting from a place of confidence and competence and expertise. When you're first starting your business, especially if you've never started a business before, you're going to feel all sorts of imposter syndrome. But if you can tap into what you know, what you have experience with, what you have years of expertise in, and when you feel confident in, that place, that confident place within you is a great place to build your business from. You can create momentum from that place, and starting from a place of expertise and feeling confident can bring the right clients, can build community around you, can create a client base around you that is focused on you. You are creating demand around you rather than you trying to meet a demand that you might be skilled for. But if you're not skilled in that demand, and you have to spend time learning that skill set, growing that skill set so you can meet this demand that you've identified, by the time that you've already built that skill set, that demand has probably been already met by something else, something faster, someone who already had the skills from the very beginning and identified it at the same time as you. So when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, yes, it's important to identify demand, to come to a market with a solution that's actually needed, that where you're filling a gap, right? Of course, that's important in business. But sometimes when that's the place that we're coming at it from, we have this sense that, okay, here's the demand. If I cannot meet that demand, I'm going to learn this skill set. And it takes time. Whenever you're learning something new, you know that you're going to go through a learning curve. You might learn this right away, or you might not. But I would rather you start from a place where you already feel confident, where you're already here with your ability to start providing services and start providing your ideas and your skill set and your expertise from a place where you already feel super confident in. And that could be from this niche, from the specialty that you enjoy talking about, right? And once you build that momentum, you know that you can validate your need for your solution, the need for you and your particular approach and your particular services and your particular thought process. And all of that comes from you trusting yourself first. Later down the road, if you wanted to expand your expertise or your knowledge, you can do that, but at least you've built a base of clients already from a place of confidence and knowledge and experience. So think about niching down. Think about what it is that you really love talking about. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm a business and entrepreneur coach, but what I really love to talk about is about clarity, is about strategy. And I love talking about clarity because I'm always feeling unclear. I am always feeling like I have to create frameworks that help me get clear about where to move, how to move, what decisions to make. And I'm very introspective in that way. And my introspection is a skill set that is natural to me. And I would love nothing but to create and bring those skills to my client relationships. And I encourage you to think about your skill set as well. What do you constantly struggle with and how have you dealt with that? And that's a skill set that you have not realized that you've developed, but that you have, and can talk about that in a way that feels authentic and confident all at the same time. It's okay to niche down. It's okay to think about your experience, your expertise, and remember that if you're resisting to it from a place of scarcity, or you're resistant to it because you're afraid of pigeonholing yourself into a corner, know that those things are not true. What proof do you have that that is actually happening? And know that you can always go back and call yourself something different, or specialize in something different, or expand your ability. But I really believe that niching down only helps to tap into that confidence for yourself, the confidence about what you know, and start talking about it in a way that people feel attracted to. All right, that really is for me. I hope this was helpful. Please come and visit me at beabosscoaching.com. You can learn more about me. You can learn how I'm always struggling about my clarity, but that I still understand how I come to my own clarity through my own frameworks. And I need help with my own clarity too. I seek help with communities and people, but I'm happy to do that with you if you feel unclear about your next steps in your business and entrepreneur journey, next decisions, how to scale, how to move forward, should you, or even if you're thinking about going back to that 9-to-5 job, because frankly, this entrepreneurship business is something you didn't quite expect, and now you really need some guidance. So I'm happy to talk about all those things, and let me know. I'd love to get in contact with you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next week. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come on over to beabosscoaching.com. Subscribe to my newsletter. Either way, I hope that we are connected in some way, shape, or form. And we'll see you next week. Bye.